Hey guys, so I wanted to share another book that I really loved. I got a chance to read it when I was working as a transition program paraprofessional a couple of years back. Um, and it is for really the lower grades. I think really kids can start reading in elementary, but it has to do with disability, and so it was really, I think really was useful for the kids in the transition program who all had some kind of disability. So the book's called Wonder. It's by R.J. Palacio. Now, think with me. Can you imagine having everybody look at you weird every time that they saw your face? Or could you imagine having people whisper things to one another as they went by you? Or can you imagine people calling you names just because of the way that you were born? Now, Wonder is a story about a 10-year-old boy who was born with a severe facial deformity, and his name's August Pullman. Now, it's told from his perspective, but you also get the perspective of many other characters to see the different perspectives, and I think that that's really a neat thing. Now, he's a kind-hearted kid, caring and funny. But most people just don't know him and are really weirded out by him, so they tend to stay away. Now, as he turned 10, his parents decided that it was a good idea that he would go to school where he had been previously homeschooled. Um, he would be entering the fifth grade, and um, his parents also thought it would be a healthy thing for him to get out into the world and learn how to be a really different person in the midst of an environment that may not be that welcoming, and just learning how to handle that, learning how to make friends and build relationships. How do you guys think Augie felt about this? Scared, maybe anxious? I mean, I would be. And that he was. He had a school visit before even starting in the summer, and three of his classmates who were supposed to be really like welcoming and kind. Their names Charlotte, Jack, and Julian. But guess what? Though Charlotte and Jack were kind and seemingly welcoming, Julian was what we would call a bully. Um, and so after the visit, August really wasn't sure that he wanted to go to school. But he ends up going. He ends up pushing through it, and um, things just don't seem to go well for him on the first day. He gets to lunch, and nobody sits with him, and people are looking at him weird as he's sitting there by himself. And he complains about the way he's eating, and people see that and are weirded out by it. But things turn for the good when a girl named Summer comes and sits at his table. He's just shocked, and she is just very sweet with him, and they instantly become friends. Um, and soon enough, Jack, who gave him the tour and welcomed him, also becomes his friend as he sits next to Augie in one of the classes and finds out that he's a pretty funny kid. Um, Unfortunately, as things are starting to look up, something tragic really happens and causes Augie to really hate school and kind of lose hope in it. And what happened? What is going to take for Augie to find confidence in who he is, to be able to face the heartbreak that fifth grade can really bring? Really any school environment where you have all these other people that are judging each other, and you just want to fit in. How is Augie going to work through that? You'll have to read to find out. But I'll give you a little snippet of the lunch scene. Um, which is one of the great turning points in his first day that I really love. I hate the way I eat. I know I know how weird it looks. I had a surgery to fix my cleft palate when I was a baby, and then a second cleft surgery when I was 4, but I still have a hole in the roof of my mouth. And even though I had jaw alignment surgery a few years ago, I have to chew food in the front of my mouth. I didn't even realize how this looked until I was at a birthday party once, and one of the kids told the mom of the birthday boy he didn't want to sit next to me because I was too messy with all the food crumbs shooting out of my mouth. I know the kid wasn't trying to be mean, but he got in big trouble later, and his mom called my mom that night to apologize. When I got home from the party, I went to the bathroom mirror and started eating a saltine cracker to see what I looked like when I was chewing. The kid was right. I eat like a tortoise. If you're ever seen a tortoise eating, that is. Like some prehistoric swamp thing. Hey, is this seat taken? I looked up, and a girl I never saw before was standing across from my table with a lunch tray full of food. She had long, wavy brown hair and wore a brown t-shirt with a purple peace sign on it. No, I said. She put her lunch tray on the table, plopped her backpack on the floor, and sat down across from me. She started to eat the mac and cheese on her plate. Ugh, she said after swallowing the first bite. I should have brought a sandwich like you did. Yeah, I said, nodding. My name is Summer, by the way. What's yours? August. Cool, she said. Summer, another girl came over at the table carrying a tray. Why are you eating here? Come back to the table. It was too crowded, Summer answered her. Come sit here, there's more room. The other girl looked confused for a second. I realized she had been one of the girls I had caught looking at me just a few minutes earlier, hand cupped over her mouth, whispering. I guess Summer had been one of the girls at that table, too. Never mind, said the girl, leaving. Summer looked at me, shrugged, smiled, and took another bite of her mac and cheese. Hey, our names kind of match, she said as she chewed. I guess she could tell I didn't know what she meant. Summer, August, she said, smiling, her eyes open wide as she waited for me to get it. Oh, yeah, I said after a second. We can make this the summer-only lunch table, she said. Only kids with summer names can sit here. Let's see. Is there anyone here named June or July? There's a Maya, I said. Technically, May is in spring, Summer answered, but if she wanted to sit here, we could make an exception. She said it as if she'd actually thought the whole thing through. There's Julian. That's like the name Julia, which comes from July. I didn't say anything. There's a kid named Reed in my English class, I said. Yeah, I know Reed, but how is Reed a summer name? She asked. I don't know, I shrugged. I just picture like a reed of grass being a summer thing. Yeah, okay, she nodded, pulling out her notebook. And Miss Petosa could sit too. That kind of sounds like the word petal, which I think is a summer thing too. I have her for homeroom, I said. I have her for math, she answered, making a face. She started writing the list of names on the second to last page of her notebook. So who else? She asked. By the end of lunch, we had come up with a whole list of names of kids and teachers who could sit at our table if they wanted. Most of the names weren't actually summer names, but they were names that had some kind of connection to summer. I even found a way of making Jack Will's name work by pointing out that you could turn his name into a sentence about Summer, like Jack will go to the beach, which Summer agreed worked fine. So that's just a little snippet. I highly recommend reading it. It's a quick read and just an inspirational book.